know Appalachia was a Native American word meaning endless mountain. Very aptly named, the Appalachians are also one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, and were at one point higher than the elevation the Himalayas are today. Originally, the territory was home to many Native American tribes. European immigrants began to settle the area in the mid-1700s. Because of the landscape, frontier families were extremely isolated from the outside world. As time passed on, Appalachians developed a reputation for being wild, being prone to drinking. Eventually, outsiders began to refer to it as a place that time forgot. Over the years, homesteaders developed an intricate system of folklore and combined the various stories and music and omens and signs and superstitions and belief of the diverse ethnic extractions that inhabited the Appalachia. And these customs were passed on orally from generation to generation, and they were strictly observed in order to ensure the continuation of their society.
If you've spent any amount of time in the Appalachian Mountains, you've heard the stories, you've heard the warnings, what not to do at night and what not to do in the woods. But isn't it so funny how every bit of training we've received our entire life goes right out the window the second we hear the sounds ourselves? So what happens when it's you, laying on your couch late at night trying to watch a movie, and from the woods behind your house, you hear the sounds? Will you ignore it like you were taught, or will curiosity get the better of you and you go investigate yourself? We both know the answer. You're going to get up and go look. You're not going to be quite sure what you'll find, but you know deep in your stomach you're going to find something. As you trudge to the door and unlock your mini locks, a pit grows in your stomach, but you don't listen. You open the door. And you'll never be quite sure what you saw that day, but you'll spend many, many hours pacing to forget. And you will forget, and you'll fall fast asleep because they want you to. You let them know by opening the door and listening to their call that you heard them, you acknowledge them, and you let them in. If you hear sounds coming from the woods at night, no you didn't.
Have you not seen that rake they caught on video at Cliffview? No way I'm going out at night in these woods. So naturally I had to know what she was talking about, so I asked her to send me these videos, and she did. So here they are.
I'm gonna show you this video and you tell me what you think. All that goes with Appalachian folklore, because we believe that the Wendigos can change into whatever they often will stand in the edge of the woods and try to make contact by yelling for help, trying to get your attention. Make you think that there's someone there who needs help, and then you show up and you are never seen again.
According to Appalachian folklore, if a child is born blue, or with a caul covering their eyes, or by C-section, that child is more likely to have extrasensory perception, meaning they are more susceptible to seeing the spirits of the dead.
Somebody over there.
Over where?
Right there.
Hey! What are you doing over there? Where did it go? Where did it go, Carly?
This guy just realized that the cat he's holding is not actually his cat, but a skinwalker pretending to be a cat. You could tell just by how weird the cat is acting and as it stares off into the cat that is mimicking. After watching this video, I would not be getting any pets anytime soon. Let's get to it.
We were talking about SW, and 3 minutes later this happened.
What's wrong with it? I was born, raised, and still live in the Appalachian Mountains. Growing up here, you experience a lot of things. And you also hear a lot of stories of different things that different people have experienced. Out of all the things that I've experienced myself and all the stories I've heard in real life and here on TikTok, the creature that my parents have encountered at completely different time periods in life is different than anything I've ever heard before. I gotta tell y'all these stories. I'll start off with my dad's encounter because it happened first. My dad, before he ever even met my mom, he was walking down the road to a friend's house. And he heard something over in the creek making a whole bunch of noise. Pitch black dark outside, you know, there's no street lights out in the rural areas. So he just keeps on walking and this thing is following him. He said it was out of sight, but it was loud enough that he knew it was there. So he goes to his friend's house, he stays for a while. He told his buddy, you know, that something was following him. He didn't think nothing else about it. He went on and headed back home. The next day, those same people, they asked my dad, buddy, what the did you bring to my house last night? They said, because after you left, this white ape came running out of the woods. And trigger warning, this is awful. But this white gorilla, ape, whatever it is, grabs all three of their dogs one by one and throws them through the door so hard that they smacked the wall in the back of the house. The dogs all lived, they were all yelping. And they said it happened so fast they didn't even know what was going on. And mind you, the two men, he said, were pretty questionable and you didn't know whether to believe what they said or not. But he said their mom was incredibly trustworthy, a very holy woman and never lied about anything. And she said she seen the exact same thing. Fast forward 10 years down the road, my mom meets my dad. I think they're still dating at this time, I'm not really sure. But they're driving down Buck Creek. My mom said she looked over in her mirror and she saw a white creature come out of the woods. She said it was solid white, probably about 7 foot tall. It was taller than my dad. She said it looked like a man, but it stood like a gorilla. She said it was standing in the middle of the road with its arms like this on the ground in front of it, you know, like a gorilla stance. And she said in one swift motion, jumped from the road onto the bank into the woods and it was gone. And my parents didn't tell me this one, but my aunt, who has passed away now, always told me about a huge white monkey looking into her trailer window one day. She said it was so tall that it had to bend over, and she said it had solid blue eyes. I don't know. What do y'all think? If you follow me, you know I was born, raised, and still live in the Appalachian Mountains. Y'all have tagged me in all kinds of creepy videos, and I've been going through and watching them all. I want y'all to let me know what you think about this one, because I swear I have seen something very similar to this in the woods.
Oh god, there's even more bones than last time. Looks like we've already passed it a while ago, but that tree is gone. Oh! It's just dark as hell in here. probably gonna turn around soon. Oh, there's two ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail goes on forever. It just got really quiet really fast. That was my cue to leave.
That's a weird looking bobcat.
I have seen the Catman twice now, but he's been at my house for the last 4 days. If you're new here, I'm being stalked by a Catman. The other night, I saw a man who was bipedal on 2 feet, built like a man, but with a cat's face, like a cat's head, ears, fur, and the reflective eyes. Since then, my dog has been acting super strange. He doesn't really want to go in my backyard anymore, and I've been having to take him out in my front yard to let him go potty. My backyard also smells like cat piss. It smells a little bit better today because it rained a bit last night. Speaking of which, I saw it last night, but it didn't do a lot of the scratching on my doors and windows that it was doing the nights before, and I think it's because it started raining and storming pretty bad. Now, a lot of you guys have suggested that this Catman might be a flesh pedestrian, but when I first moved into this house in early 2022, I believe that I had a flesh pedestrian situation. In fact, quite a few things have happened on this property. Nothing's happened in quite a while, so I didn't really think about it, especially because I was so shocked by seeing a Catman. I know a lot about cryptids, like the basic ones, Bigfoot, even dogmen. I know dogmen are common in Appalachia, but I had never even heard of a Catman before. I had no idea anything like that had ever even been seen. I've had spiritual things happen. I've had not demonic spirits. I don't think that demonic spirits are what you guys think they are, but I have had lots of spirits come through here. But I myself am clairvoyant and I'm a practicing witch, so I mean that's not super odd. I've had that kind of my entire life. But as far as cryptids, all I had experienced before was seeing what I believe was a mimic impersonating a friend of mine. I still think he currently does have a mimic, but that's a whole other thing. But as far as this certain cryptid and some of the other things that I'm learning that I may have seen around this, well, I did see around this property, I just didn't realize they were cryptids. I am wondering if anybody else in North Georgia, like north of Atlanta, is having things like this happening, or experiencing anything like this. From my research, it seems like a lot of other people are. So, I mean, DM me, get in contact with me. You can't DM me on TikTok, but you can on Instagram. I want to see who else is like experiencing stuff like this. And I'm going to try to keep you as updated as I can about the Catman. I am currently being stalked by a Catman. Yes, you heard that correctly. I am being stalked by a Catman, a man with a cat head. For reference, I do live near the Appalachian Mountains. And the other night, when taking my dog out to use the potty, I saw a Catman standing in the woods, staring into my house directly at me. Yes, he has come back. This was about 2 nights ago, and last night, he came back. Now, did I see him? No. I am fully aware he was there, though. He was scratching at my back door, like, that probably didn't sound like scratching, but scratching like a cat wanting to come into the house. I also heard whispering from outside. So it sounded like a whisper, but it had to have been louder than a whisper. But it was unintelligible. Like, I'm not even sure it was English. I had to fully get up and go to the other side of my house because I felt like it was staring at me. And for reference, my dog was with me and started whimpering as this was happening. Tail up, and his hair, like his fur, I have a pit bull, was standing up too. From what I understand, I need to cover my back windows because I guess I'm new here and I didn't know that I'm supposed to cover my windows and all that jazz at night. So I bought some blackout curtains. I'm also a witch, so I have all kinds of wording around my house, and one of my words fell and broke, and apparently the other ones aren't doing shit against this thing. If you know anything about catmen, can you please let me know? It's not a wampus cat, because somebody suggested that it may be a wampus cat, and I looked it up, and it doesn't look like a panther or a mountain lion. It looks like a cat, but with a man's body, about 6 feet tall. And I'm terrified, and if I disappear, it was the Catman. Update on the Catman who is stalking me. He came back around last night. I did not see him, but I heard him. And look, my blinds suck, okay? I see all the comments with you guys telling me to close my blinds. They're really hard to open and close. So I bought some blackout curtains, but they're not here yet, okay? As soon as they're here, I will be putting them up. But I was sitting on the couch last night, eating my cereal, and watching Vanderpump Rules, and I kept hearing like a weird grumbly growling, not like a growl, because a growl I feel like sounds like a dog or like a wolf or something, but it was like, I caught a little bit of it on video, but I don't think you can hear it very well. I'll put it in here. But there was also a lot of like scratching at the windows, and I could hear like walking back there, but I didn't look out the window. And I acted like I just couldn't hear it or didn't notice it, because that's what all of you guys said to do. Now, as far as what this could be, I don't think it's a flesh pedestrian, but I don't think it's like, I don't know anything about werecats. I'm researching a lot of stuff right now to kind of figure out what it is. And I don't think it's a wampus cat, because this looks more like a house cat, not like a panther. And the wampus cat looks a lot more like a panther. I'm going to do a lot more research to kind of try to figure out what this is. I'm really confused on what it wants to do with me, and I'm confused on why none of my warding seems to be working. I don't get what's up with that. I have a follow-up video that I'm going to be posting because this is not the only thing that's happened here. But this is the most extreme thing that has happened here. But this is really weird land. So I'll have that up for you guys tomorrow to kind of explain this land and like that whole situation, because it might have more insight into all of it. But so far he's been here 3 nights and it's kind of escalating. So I don't know what's going on. And also my dog will not leave my side. And when even today, actually during the daytime today, he kept staring out the back door into the woods. And usually I think it's a squirrel, but he kind of sat there for a really long time, which usually he doesn't do that if it's like a squirrel or something. So there's that too. So I don't know if this is something that's going to be coming here in the daytime as well. So we'll see. I'm being stalked by a cat man, a man's body with a cat's head. Like, but probably a little bit bigger than a man's head, like a Dave Bautista head, not a normal man's head. It came back last night and was scratching at my window and scratching at my door. I took a video where you can hear it scratching the background. And the night before, I also took a video of what sounded like growling. And if anything comes up tonight, I will take another video or I might just go live. But I want to talk about what this could possibly be. A lot of people think that it's a wampus cat, but I don't think it's a wampus cat. See, in everything I read, the wampus cat is more of a long, big cat. But what I saw was a cat man. So it had the body of a human, but like a cat's head like that, like a house cat, not a panther. A lot of people think it's also a flesh pedestrian or an SW. I don't think it's that. And I have dealt with one of those before, which is why I kind of know that it's not that. At first I thought it may be, but I don't think that's what this is. Some people are saying that it's a Lyra or a Lyran, but I don't think it's this because one, it looked more like a house cat. And two, this sounds like it's really related to the whole starseed thing, and I think that's a bunch of BS. No offense. If you believe in that, that's fine. I don't believe in starseeds or any of those things. I don't think that there are lion aliens out there coming to visit me in my backyard. Like, it's just not that. I know that the woo-woo gets confused sometimes, and everybody thinks we all believe in the same things. We don't. I live in the Appalachians. The Appalachian Mountains are older than fish are, like the first fish. So who knows what's here? Scotland's weird too, and it was the same mountain range at one point. And go look up a bunch of folklore about Scotland. It's crazy there too. I'm still doing a lot of research to figure out what this is. I will be putting cameras up so we can see if we can catch this thing. So follow along with me. Maybe follow me on Instagram and YouTube, because sometimes I can't post certain things here, but I can there. So go follow me. Link is in my bio for my Instagram, and my YouTube's in my stand store, She the Disco Witch. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think it is. Besides a SW or a Lyran. I don't think it's either of those things, and I don't think it's a Wampus cat either. The cat man keeps urinating on my back patio more and more every night. If you're new here, I am being stalked by something that walks and looks like a man from the neck down, but has a cat's head. This has been going on for about 5 nights now, and last night I thought I was in the clear and it hadn't come around because I didn't hear any scratching or any of the weird growling noises, and I didn't see it. But when I awoke this morning to let my dog out, which my dog has been really weird about going out onto my actual back patio. I've been having to take him out in the front yard. The back patio smelled heavily of cat urine. So does that mean it's marking my house as its territory? I haven't been super scared, I've been unsettled, but I'm starting to become a little bit terrified because why is it marking my house? I didn't even know cats did that. I thought that was a dog thing. Do you guys think that things will start to escalate if I power wash my patio? Will it get worse? Will I upset it? I don't want my backyard to smell like cat piss, so I just don't know what to do. Maybe leave me some suggestions in the comments, because I'm at a freaking loss here. A cat man has seemingly made me his prey. Yes, I am being hunted by a cat man. This started about 5 days ago. I saw him twice, and I've heard scratching and clawing at my doors, as well as some weird growling noises. And my entire backyard smells like cat piss. I live in the middle of the country. There's no stray cats out here. Yeah. And I'm racking my brain trying to figure out how this happened, why it's happening, what is going on. Now, I've mentioned before that I am a practicing witch, okay? So I have warding everywhere, and I mean, it's been my job for the last year and a half. If you go into all my past content, that's what I make content about. And I've had a really rough time. The last few months I'm grieving and in the midst of losing a family member that I'm extremely close to. So I asked myself for a little bit, maybe it's my grief, maybe that energy is attracting something, I don't know. But I also did a huge manifesting ritual on February 9th on the new moon. And of course I was manifesting success and happiness and the normal stuff that you would typically want to manifest. I've been a creator here on TikTok for a year, and I've done okay. I just hit 50,000 followers maybe 2 weeks ago. But of course, I want to keep that momentum rolling. And in the last 5 days, I have more than doubled my followers and my engagement and all of that stuff. So did I manifest the cat man? I don't know. I'm just trying to go through and figure out what the hell happened. And I think it's kind of crazy that I did this huge manifestation ritual after not really doing any kind of witchcraft for a couple of months because I've been in a really bad place. And now I have this whole situation on my hands. I just kind of want to see what other people think. I know some of you don't believe in this shit, and like, I get it. I don't really care for you calling me names or any of that stuff. Like, that's not, I mean, it's going to happen anyway, but it's not productive. I want to hear from people who genuinely have an opinion about this. Like, did I do this to myself? The cat man showed up last night while I was on live stream. There was about 1,000 people in the live, and they all experienced what I experienced. I thought I heard it, but I don't think so, because I haven't heard it again. So for those of you who keep asking me why I didn't go out and take a picture of it, would you go out and take a picture of it or put yourself in danger for social media? I'm not doing that. In fact, I ended up ending the live and running up into my bedroom because I was so scared. I have ordered cameras. They're just not here yet. I had cameras and I thought that they would be sufficient, and they're not. So I'm figuring the camera situation out right now. And then I think I'm going to have them on a 24-hour loop on my YouTube. And then if I get anything, I'll post it on social media. But that way, y'all will be able to see it. But yeah, this is a really terrifying and messed up situation, and it's not a good time. So yeah. I'm being stalked by some kind of cryptid that looks like a cat man. This is all the proof that I've put together in the last few days of when it's come around. I would just recommend you turning your volume all the way up because this stuff was happening in real time and is unedited, so you have to really turn it up to be able to hear it. I'll have cameras up by next week. The cameras I had aren't working right. I had to order new cameras. Blech, I said that weird. I have to order new cameras, but I'll be in California for the weekend, so I won't be here to put them up. So stay tuned. Do you think that the mysterious catman that is stalking me is a flesh pedestrian? I've been getting a lot of questions on what a flesh pedestrian is. I am not going to say the regular name for it because that is said to bring more attention to yourself from that kind of entity, and I definitely don't want that. So the original story behind the shape-shifting entity known as a flesh pedestrian or something else is originally a Navajo tale. And it basically means something that turns from a humanoid creature to something four-legged. And the thing that may have been in my backyard may have been in a transitionary situation. And what I mean by that is it was the body of a man, but with the head of a cat. Maybe it was trying to change into a cat to maybe lure me outside or gain my trust in some kind of way. But possibly it hadn't done that because it was, I mean, obviously it was really weird seeing a cat man, but it could be very uncanny valley. Like it just didn't seem right. The feeling was just unsettling. I am not the only person to see those in this area. In fact, there's a lot of catman stories starting to come up from people who also live in this area. And when I first moved into this house, I thought there was potentially a flesh pedestrian around the premises. And I did a ritual that involved eagle feathers and some other things, and it seemingly went away. So is what is stalking me now the same thing that was coming around before? I also want to know, what does it want from me? So if you know anything about flesh pedestrians, can you tell me like what they do to people? Like I don't understand what the point is. Like, is it trying to devour me or is it trying to do what? I'm not super well versed in flesh pedestrians. I had to seek help to get rid of the original one. But yeah, as far as I know, it didn't come around last night. So that's good. Maybe it is tired of me and it won't come back. You buck-toothed, pancake-ass lip sniffers are on my last goddamn nerve. I am not a schizophrenic. No offense to schizophrenics. My carbon monoxide thing is working just fine. And I'm so sorry you live in your Mima's basement and you don't have any other social interaction than to say crazy things to people on the internet. Me seeing a cat man on my Appalachian property is probably one of the least crazy things that's happened in the Appalachians. The Appalachian Mountains are 500 million years old. Just some of the things that have been spotted here are wendigos, wampus cats, the Mothman, the Wolfman, Smoke Wolf, Bigfoot, the Grafton Monster, the Raven Mocker, the Cherokee Death Cat, the Silver Giant, and Grims. This isn't even touching the tip of it. All kinds of weird shit is out here that we don't know about. And I have a theory on why we're seeing more and more sightings. I think it's climate change. We're disrupting all kinds of animals' habitats on the planet through humanity being destructive to the earth. Why would we think that that wouldn't affect cryptids as well? So yeah, the fact that I've seen a catman and other people are saying that they've also seen a catman, yeah, that's not exactly that crazy in the grand scheme of things that have been cited here. So put your keyboards away and use critical thinking skills. Okay, thank you. Bye. I'm being stalked by some kind of cryptid that looks like a catman. This is all the proof that I've put together in the last few days of when it's come around. I would just recommend you turning your volume all the way up because this stuff was happening in real time and is unedited, so you have to really turn it up to be able to hear it. I'll have cameras up by next week. The cameras I had aren't working right. I had to order new cameras. Blech, I said that weird. I have to order new cameras, but I'll be in California for the weekend, so I won't be here to put them up. So stay tuned.
This lady was on TikTok saying that she lives in the Appalachian mountain range, that she saw this creature. In the back, it's like this man with a cat head, a feline cat head. Now, my mind instantly, for all the Tekken players out there, know King, the character. That's my favorite. I love King. So shout outs. If you know, you know. You know.
I know.
You know. But no, it's more like a gross. What?
No, I've just pictured this lady out of the woods literally seeing the guy from Tekken.
King,
just out there with like
business suit with the little jaguar head. I know. Isn't that cool?
So what happened is she went to go let her dog out, and then so the dog was acting crazy and being weird, and then was like, "Oh, I'm not about this," like barking and stuff like that, and it's very out of character. And then she sees it in the distance,
and it's looking at her.
Yes, looking at her. Brings the dog in, obviously. Then she's like, "Okay," I was like, "Did I actually see that? What was it?" And then she starts hearing like knocking on her window.
It's tapping on her freaking windows.
Fuck that. And then she pants to the dog, and it's like,
and it's like, Khajiit have wares if you have coin.
Ooh, nice. Skyrim. See if we can get some more video game references in here. I like this.
This woman's dog saved her from a skinwalker.
Why are you running?
What was this dog seeing that we couldn't see? I don't know, but dogs have a sixth sense or something. Like and follow for more spooky crap.
Skinwalker caught on camera.
Where I live in the Appalachian Mountains, we have the no you don't rules, and last night those rules saved my life. The rules are: if you hear something, no you don't. If you see something, no you don't. And if something calls your name, no it didn't, and leave quickly without running. Last night something was on my porch walking with soft but thudding footsteps. I closed my curtains as tight as I could and locked my bedroom door. The footsteps never went away. I was awake until almost 3 a.m. and I could still hear them. But never once did I look out my window or leave my room. I could tell the longer it went on, the angrier it got. It would move faster and more frequently, and I heard a distorted growl that sounded like a drill stripping a screw. I could have shrugged it off as a wild animal, but I knew better. And what happens next told me it was not just some animal. I was on a phone call with my friend to make it think I wasn't alone. But then the call kept dropping, and my friend told me that he kept hearing static through the phone. I then tried to call my next-door neighbor, who I am also friends with. She never picked up, but every time the phone rang, I could hear the static my friend was talking about. I ended up falling asleep sometime around 3 a.m. When I woke up, it was broad daylight, and the footsteps were gone. When talking to my neighbor on Discord, she told me she was outside around the same time and told me she saw something that looked like a weird wolf. So I know I wasn't imagining things last night.
So someone tagged me in that video asking me what I think that was. And here you can hear the mechanical tonality that I've talked about hearing from things speaking to me in the past. It sounds almost human, but not quite. Like something trying to sound human, but isn't quite getting it right. Later on in that video, you see an almost humanoid thing kind of limping out of the forest. It's continuing to make that noise, and it's triggering motion sensors. Now, I don't know where this video was filmed and where it took place, and there are a couple of almost humanoid things that it could be. From looking at the build of it, though, it almost kind of seems like a rake to me. And rakes are known to have a cry, kind of be white, creamy presenting, humanoid-ish, but not human. What do you think it is?
Made it to the Appalachian Mountains. So far, no skin.
Walking down the trail, me, Gavin, and Greg. Say what's up, Gavin. Hey. Here's Greg. What's up, Greg? He's the quiet type. We can't get him to talk. Ah, we know you, Greg. We know you. We know you.
Alright, going randonauting. And it took us to this shady park in the middle of nowhere, so let's see what we find. All we see so far is like trees, a bridge. I think we have to go over this bridge, and our location's a little down there. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Should we keep going? What the fuck? Oh my god, is she following us?
Day 3 of trying to befriend the cryptid that lives in the woods behind my house.
So I couldn't find Coke in the glass bottles, but these are pretty good. 10 out of 10, recommend. You know, just cracking open a cold one with the boys. People are saying I should be afraid of my new cryptid best friend. But not to be all like, we are the disease about it. But the humans around here, far scarier. Like, what's the cryptid gonna do? Stalk me? A human around here has already done that. I thought it might be fun to have a bit of a picnic. I also brought these, but they're mostly for me. I don't want to leave them, mainly because I'm terrified of poisoning the raccoon population, so. Does say it's the shareable size, though, so come and get it. So in lieu of snacks, I decided maybe I'd give them, like, this Tanith Lee paperback. Like, I love Tanith Lee, so maybe it'd be like a bonding thing. Oh, this one's shaped like a little man. Well, that's just perfect. I have to leave this one.
And you stupid content creators. Everyone's been talking about how people go missing in the Great Smoky.
Hey, bestie. Another person who grew up in rural Appalachia here. And I don't know if you're outside the Cherokee or the Pisgah or what national forest you're outside of, but I grew up outside the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Let me show you. Okay, that red dot right there is Spence Field, where Dennis Martin went missing. There's Cades Cove, and I grew up right here in Townsend. Right about there. And I don't consider myself a content creator, but I did go to lots of old timers days, and they all talk about it. My father was a park ranger during the Dennis Martin search, and my grandfather was the mayor of Townsend. And they all said that there was something going on that they weren't telling us. And all the old timers said there's people out in the woods that'll get you, is what they would say. They'll go out in the woods, they'll get you. So, sorry, bestie.
The Appalachian Mountains. If you even stay in those mountains, you would either hear knocks or whistles. And the whole thing is like, if you even knock or whistle back, like you'll allow that spirit to with you. So there's one guy, and he already has 20 million views on his video. I'll show you it after. But he went to the Appalachian Mountains for work. And he's just videoing with his friends, and he sees something crazy. I'll just show you the video, and let's see if you see it. Yeah. But it's trending right now. Hold on. 6 days ago, watch.
J'espère que vous allez bien, moi ça par la grâce de Dieu. Je suis comme ça en train d'aller à l'école. Mais je pense que le professeur ne va pas venir aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison.
saw that face?
Yeah. Being Black Appalachian is wild because obviously I'm in a parking lot. Bright ass lights and shit, right? Directly behind me, you see those big ass deer? There's a whole family of deer. There we go. I had to figure out how to do the zoom. Aren't they beautiful? Pretty as hell, right? In the hood, bruh. Deer just be rolling. Oh, you're getting close as fuck. Look. They're so pretty. And they're looking at me. Oh my god, one's coming over. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hi, I don't want no problems. I'm just a cyber Disney princess. Yeah, so Bambi's still looking at me. So I'm going to take my black ass in the house. Are they waiting on me to go in the house? My friend is still there. None of them have antlers though, so I don't know if this is like the kids. Because there was a real big one, but he ain't had no antlers. Bye, y'all. Oh, they're all by my car. Please don't do anything weird to my car. Promise I'll come in peace. All right, I'm in my building, so you don't have to worry about me doing anything weird with wild animals. I'm not a weird with wild animals person, though I get the allure. It'll never be me petting wild animals. Maybe a cat, but like an actual cat, not a trash cat. Any version of a trash cat. Apprenticing today was cool. I drew my stuff and did my doodles, and I just wish I had more time, but I don't want to I need to be able to make money while I'm also doing this, and that's the thing. Oh, somebody is cooking. It smells good than a motherfucker. I love living on the floor with black people because it always smells like good food. All right, I'm in my place, and I didn't bring any wild animals in here with me. The only animals I have are these and my squishes. I got to show you my squish pit, but they're all beat down because I've been laying. One day I'll do the MTV cribs of my apartment. I feel like y'all have seen a lot of it though already. So there's that. I need to eat a food. Somebody made something. It smells like steak or something out there. I don't know what that. It smells so good. Maybe like some steak and some rice. I don't feel like cooking.
Kimberly McGeorge and DCNH, and I tried to record this earlier, and shocker, my phone went dead. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about national parks and state parks. And yes, they're protected because they're beautiful areas, but mainly they're protected because they're ley line areas. And most of the ley lines in this country and around the world, not all of them, most of them, or majority of them, are held by dark force energies. And because they're held by dark force energies, underground bases and things have been built under these parks, as well as entrances that have been there for centuries, I guess, to inner earth. So you can literally stumble into a world where you can't navigate and you may not be able to get out. Also, there's a lot of portals because of the ley lines and just the portal energies in these parks. So a lot of times when people are disappearing, they're not being taken by dogmen, they're not being taken by Sasquatch, they're not being taken by aliens. I mean, they might be, but literally they're walking into other worlds. They're walking into inner earth. They may have stumbled into a base because there's a lot of holographic coverings that people inadvertently, because people are dumb and people are nosy and people can't see the dimensions, and so they can't navigate some of these places, and so they get themselves in things that they can't get out of. Yes, some people are picked off the trail and brought for experimentation and lose time and all of that. Yes, some people are killed by crazies on things like the Appalachian Trail and stuff like that. Not saying there's not logical, quote, 3D explanations, but a lot of the David Pilates 411 stuff is BS. He knows what's going on. He's a paid informant. He's part of the whole thing. He's been proven to be a liar on many occasions. And so a lot of this, in my opinion, is they're walking through portals and they're not being able, to navigate their way back out, or maybe a one-way portal. Because the ley lines are walking into inner Earth again, they're not being able to get back out. They may be in a base. They might not want them to get back out. So a lot of these disappearances or deaths are a result of not necessarily super mystical stuff, but definitely things that most of you aren't familiar with that some of us are. So my warning and my caution is be very careful when you go. Stay in crowds, stay in the more public places. Don't go off exploring on your own. If you get like a spidey sense of something wrong, pay attention to that. I don't recommend camping in state parks or national parks, which is funny because I basically live practically in a state park, but my property also is a portal property on 4 acres of quartz. So that's going to automatically kind of make it really magical and mystical, which is great for me because of my knowledge and what I do, but it's not so great for other people. Not everybody would love it here. And there's probably places on my property that I shouldn't walk into and I might not get out of as well. So
the knot deer is a type of cryptid said to exist in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. To the unobservant, they may seem like deer, but as the name implies, they are not. Whatever they truly are, they are intelligent enough to impersonate deer, but many things about these creatures come off as unsettling and unnatural. They may have forward-facing human-like eyes, multiple eyes, unnaturally shaped antlers, or even claws or hands instead of hooves. What little is known about the knot deer states that unlike real deer, they aren't afraid of people. They are also said to make strange clicking noises and move with contorting, jerking motions. While the folklore might imply that they could be shape-shifting spirits who aren't able to completely integrate with this new form, science suggests it could be because of the deer equivalent of mad cow disease. But who's to say? The next time you see a herd of deer, pay a little more attention. It could save your life.
Nope. Hell no. Appalachian folklore is fantastic. Just about everybody in the United States has heard a fair amount of it, and a lot of superstitions that we have come from it. And a lot of it's just really good advice to follow in general. Did you know that some of it also stems from African belief? I have had many, many comments over time saying, yep, that's what we believe over here in this country or in this country or in this region, saying that it mirrors it very, very similarly, which does make a lot of sense as to how it came about here and in Appalachia. But by and large, the things that you learn from Appalachian folklore is just good to follow in general. If you hear something screaming in the woods in the middle of the night, leave. Something's whistling, leave. If you heard that, no, you didn't.
A man from Tennessee, Appalachia was sitting in his home when he heard his own voice calling for him.
Everybody last time got fucking pissed at me.
Open the door.
Because I opened the door, so I'm not going to do that this time, but it's back.
Please help me.
Fine, I'll talk about what's in the trees. So here's a crash course of the 3 main things. But ground, and they can kind of spread like a virus. spreading from one person in a group to another person. Least amount of energy for the most amount of impact. It seems like they don't want to cause a lot of physical damage, but they want mental damage. And from what I have seen, there's not a whole lot you can do to protect yourself. Some people theorize that this is just a supercharged ghost, a beefed up shadow man, so to speak. Others, a demonic entity. We're not entirely sure. A hide behind that no longer hides behind. We don't know its story. We don't know why, we don't know how. But there's consistent enough stories about this that it's concerned to me. They're not interchangeable. They're not the same thing. And there's only so much you can do about them. But I think they're all pretty solid reasons to not look in the trees, to not investigate where it's not needed, to not be alone, to not go out at night. If you hear it, no you don't. If you see it, no you don't. Turn away and walk away.
Compilation of dogs or skinwalkers. The last one is the most terrifying.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hey, excuse me. Nala. Are you doing dishes? I hope so.
Sometimes I think my dog isn't human.
First of all, it's midnight. You look scary. It's completely blackout. Can we please go inside and just go to bed? I'm terrified. Sir, you're getting very close to me. Why are you walking like that? No. No, Steven. No. Steven, it's time for bed. No, I just want to go to sleep. Steven. Why are you stalking me? Guys, you asked for more stalking videos?
What's really going on in the Appalachian Mountains? These are videos from a witness who lives in the Appalachian Mountains. He records in the first video what sounds like terrifying screams from an unidentified creature. He has no idea what it is, so he decides to set out some cell phones and try to capture this creature a couple of days later. What he records is something truly chilling. The question, though, is what is this creature? Is it a Wendigo, a wraith, some other supernatural being, or is this a hoax? It's worth noting that the Appalachian Mountains were once part of the Scottish Highlands, which were part of the Central Pangea mountain range. With all the folklore and myths originating from the Scottish Highlands, it makes you wonder if that's why our Appalachian Mountains are teeming with paranormal activity. Take a look at this footage and let me know what you think.
So, people have been saying, I can't see, hold on. People have been saying for me to get cameras for the outside of my door. I did. And now, I don't, like, it seems like it's just getting worse, and I don't even want to, like, go home. I will insert the footage so you can see what I'm talking about, but I don't know what my, like, next steps are. Yeah. So I just got home from work, and I found this on the ground. And I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like it is busted. Motherfuckers. Okay, so people have been saying for me to stick a camera on the inside of the window and on the door. The camera that I put above the door, last time, it got fucked up, basically. So, I had an idea. I have these old phones, okay, from, like, they were, like, back whenever I first got, like, phones, you know. Like, they're a few years old and stuff. So, I thought, you know, let me charge them up, clear off the memory, and I will put one, like, here at the window, and then the other one, I'm gonna hide it outside, pointed to the door, and I wiped it completely, like, both of them's wiped clean, and it's not gonna record all night, I know that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, if I just start recording, I'm about to, like, lay down and go to sleep. If I start recording, it'll at least record until the memory is full, and then I can just, like, you know, scrub through the footage later and just see what happens, right? So, let's set up these cameras. Okay, here's one, and it is pointing out the front window right here, like, overlooking the cars and stuff. I'll try to insert, like, I'll insert the clip of it, like, what it's seeing right now. And then I'm gonna stick the second one outside. Let me, I need this. So it's gonna be like this. Okay. And then I'm gonna start recording on both of them, and we'll see if we catch anything.
Up in the dark.